एहतशाम है कोई?
हाँ बहुत सारे होंगे। हाँ
सिर्फ दो ही आए हैं, एक ही है।
लोग आएंगे भी तो 6:30 हो जाएंगे।
एहतशाम है ना? ये मैं भी आपको म्यूट कर रहा हूँ।
तो मुझे सिखा
आपकी आवाज आने लगी।
Hello, has the meeting started?
Hello, this is Toastmaster Kenny.
Yes, I'm Kenny.
Hello, hi. My name is Salha. Actually, it has started officially, but we are just waiting for a few participants. So usually it takes 5 to 10 minutes. So please bear with us.
I see, no problem. And by the way, I'm from London. I heard about this Toastmaster from Saad Arif. He visited my club.
Okay, right. Yeah, Saad. So Toastmaster Saad happens to be a very active member.
Yeah,
these days,
seems like it.
Yeah, these days he's become a globetrotter. He's visiting all the clubs in the world. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's amazing to have you here, Toastmaster Kenny. I also see another guest who is Toastmaster Muhammed Arif from Bangladesh. Toastmaster Muhammed Arif, can you introduce yourself?
Hello everyone, this is Toastmaster Muhammed Arif from Chittagong Toastmasters Club. So I'm very new to your Pakistani Toastmasters Club. So in this situation, I was trying to reach out as many as countries as possible. So start club, and thank God you invited me to your club meeting. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We are lucky to have you, and we are honored that you guys have joined us from thousands of miles away. I hope we can fulfill your expectations and you have a nice time. Okay, so we have another guest, I believe, Toastmaster Ihtisham. Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hi everyone. Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm joining from thousands of miles away. It's a pleasure to be here. It's my native town called Karachi. I've never been there, but I'm living in Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
It's to visit Karachi, and it feels like home while looking at you people. And actually, it feels really good when we look at people now, considering that we are locked down 24 hours. It's good to be here, and I'm looking forward for our lovely meeting today.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ihtisham. It's an honor to have you as well. And all the way from Saudi, you would be feeling right at home in Karachi, because Karachiites are late even coming to digital meetings. So that must be a very, very familiar part of your life that you miss. So it's all just to make you feel at home. Yeah. We have another guest, Toastmaster Rizwan Yaqub from Saudi Arabia as well. So Toastmaster Rizwan, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Rizwan Yaqub, and I am currently living in Jeddah. I'm a friend of Toastmaster Talha, and on his request, I'm joining this meeting.
Okay, thank you very much, Toastmaster Rizwan, and bursting my bubble that you just stumbled onto our meeting on the internet and you felt interested, and then you felt so compelled to join. Instead, you disclosed that I asked you to join, and you're doing me a huge favor by joining. So thank you for that. And how many people? Toastmaster Rusa, can we start the meeting? Yeah, we have our Toastmaster of the evening. So can we start the meeting?
We still have a few people to go.
Okay. Okay. Toastmaster Rusa, I think we have. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I believe if just our journal evaluator joins us, we are in a position to start the meeting, right? Because we have the speakers and the evaluators, at least two of them, and we have all the role players except for journal evaluator. So I believe we can start the meeting. Am I right?
Yes.
I believe, Toastmaster Rusa, you should, I believe it's time that you kick the proceedings off, and we can then move on to the introductions, the official ones, and then we can hand over the charge to Toastmaster of the evening. And by then we should have our journal evaluator.
Okay.
मुझे बोलना तो unmute कर दो, mute कर दो.
Okay, so as impromptu sergeant at arms, sorry, no one assigned me this role. I grabbed this role.
Thank you for taking that.
Yeah, so I declare this meeting open, and it's a pleasure to have all of you. Thank you for joining us. There are a few house rules of which you must be very familiar now, and that is that you should turn off your microphones at all times unless it's your turn to speak. And also, it's not very preferable to send messages in the chat boxes because it distracts from the meeting itself. And when a prepared speaker is speaking, I believe it's a good idea to turn off your video, but again, it's entirely up to you, just to preserve their concentration. But again, it depends from case to case. Some speakers feel they prefer to be able to see the people's faces, so to judge the audience's reaction. So it's all good, but please, by default, turn off your microphone so that we can have a disciplined meeting. With that, I hand over the charge now to our presiding officer for today, our VP Education, Toastmaster Rusa Kamal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Talha. Welcome, Toastmasters and the guests, to another exciting episode of Karachi Toastmasters meeting, the 856th meeting. I hope you're all doing well in the differently quarantined regions. And today, let's kick off the meeting with reminding ourselves what Toastmasters is, how it started. And it started a long time ago in 1920 something something. Everyone knows when it started, right? In Pakistan, it started almost 20 years ago. We formed a club, which was the Karachi Toastmasters Club. And it started very slowly. Dr. Sadeem formed this club, and it struggled. Like today, I struggle to bring this meeting together. And it reminded me of what Dr. Sadeem might have gone through to bring each and every meeting together. And hats off to that guy, and hats off to his determination to bring each and every participant of this meeting and this club together each and every week, each and every meeting for 20 years. That's a struggle. So today I would like to maybe give a tribute to him, to all of his efforts for 20 years. To that guy who kept the club going for 20 years despite everything. Now, moving forward, let me ask the guests today. Let's start with Toastmaster Kenny. Although you have given your introduction and everything, what has Toastmasters done for you so far?
Thank you, Toastmaster. For me, Toastmasters has been a brilliant opportunity to push my comfort zones and expand my role as a speaker, because I'm somebody that stutters, and I've enrolled on a speech program, and my main mission ever since has just been to get into as many different speaking situations as possible in order to reduce that stuttering fear and enjoy speaking. So Toastmasters has been amazing, and I'm happy to connect all over the world.
Great, Toastmaster Kenny. Toastmaster Ehtisham, same question to you. What has Toastmasters done for you?
Hi, thank you for this brilliant question. What has Toastmaster done for me? Toastmasters for me is a hope, it's a light, it's a positivity. Normally, when I'm attending and I'm seeing somebody delivering a speech, I'm getting influenced. I'm getting impressed. They are delivering a message. They are delivering a speech which is helpful, which makes me think positive in life, which makes me think positive about so many things around us. It is such a positive impact in my life, and I want to continue by expanding. It's my first time joining the Karachi Club, and like I was telling earlier, that it feels like home and seeing my own people. I've never been to Karachi, so that's why the feeling is different for me today. Thank you very much.
You're welcome to come anytime when the corona situation is over.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ehtisham. Toastmaster Rizwan, what has Toastmasters done for you?
Yeah, this is, I think, my second meeting. While I was in Karachi last year, so I attended a meeting. And I'm not part of any club. So I haven't been engaged with these clubs, thoroughly. But I think this is a great forum to build your confidence and, give you the courage to speak in front of the public and develop your personality. So I wish, I can be part of the club and improve my skills. So thank you all for very much for letting me into this club, meeting. And I look forward to, inshallah, be part of this club and also, work on improving my skills. Thank you.
You're more than welcome. Toastmaster Arif, Muhammed Arif, what has Toastmasters done for you?
Hello everyone again. So I have been Toastmasters for last 3 years, and many things I am learning in Toastmasters. Let me say something about myself first. I'm a student, and I'm a final year student of computer science and engineering. And for the last 3 years, Toastmasters has really helped me to push my boundary. And I was extremely introvert person. I couldn't talk to people. I couldn't express myself. And the funny thing is, I couldn't even talk in English. So that's the thing Toastmaster has done to you, and Toastmaster has been doing to people. And that's what I had to say about Toastmasters. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arif. I think that's about it for the guests. Now let me welcome our Toastmaster of the evening, who will take the session forward. He is the past president of Toastmasters, Karachi Toastmasters Club, a lawyer by profession, and I think one of the most soft-spoken Toastmasters I have met till now. Toastmaster Hassan Ali Tebu. The stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Urusa, and thank you for the introduction. Good evening to all of you Toastmasters. It's wonderful to be here, and it's wonderful to have all of you. For those who are not so familiar with what happens at a Toastmasters meeting, I'll just give you a very brief lowdown on it. The Toastmasters meeting consists of 3 segments primarily. The first segment, normally you have table topics sessions, but we usually start off with prepared speeches. And that would lead us into the table topic sessions, which ultimately would lead us towards the very important evaluation session, where we get to know how each one of us have performed. And now to just get into the thick of things, in order to get us moving with the meeting, we have some facilitators that would help us carry on with the meeting. And the first one of those would be our word master for the day. That's Toastmaster Farhan Haider. Toastmaster Farhan, can you please give us the word of the day and its introduction, please?
Can you hear me, everybody?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. And my name is Farhan. Today, I'm playing a role of word master. And today, word of the day is pioneer. Pioneer, it's a noun, and it's meaning a person who is among the first to do something. So during the meeting session, we can use this word as much we can. And if any speaker, evaluator use this word, we can bag on the table or anything else just to recognize that the person is being used this word. So please carry on.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Farhan. Next, we have the grammarian. I believe Toastmaster Ali Asghar is the grammarian. Toastmaster Asghar, are you there?
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster of the evening. Today, I'm the grammarian for this meeting, and my job is to note words or phrases that are not grammatically correct, and I also try to highlight exceptional word usage and phrases which are used in the meeting. That's it from my side. Over to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you very much, Ali Asghar. The next meeting facilitator is the super grammarian. I don't think we have the super grammarian available right now. I had something coming up, so I would definitely love to take this position up, and I would
actually. Sorry, Toastmaster Hassan Tebo. I think VP Education has an assignment for this. No, she has an assignment for this role, so okay. She may announce. Yeah.
All right, great. Toastmaster Urusa, could you please give us an introduction to the role?
Would the Toastmaster Muazzam like to take up this role?
All right. Toastmaster Muazzam, are you there? Hello, Toastmaster Muazzam.
आज पानी देना थोड़ा सा यार.
Okay, Toastmaster Mozam, can you hear us? I think your microphone is muted. In case you're there and you're... Okay, I think we'll move on with the role. Toastmaster Urusa, would you take up that role?
Yes.
Okay.
The role of the super grammarian is to talk about the exceptional usages and note it down, and then narrate them in at the end of the meeting and see who can guess what.
Can
and
you
it's
tell
a
us?
listening test.
Oh, that's what I was willing to ask. It
It's a
tests your listening skills. All right, great.
It's a listening test. It's a listening test. So the person who has said those sentences is supposed to be quiet, and everyone else is supposed to guess.
Great, thank you very much. The next meeting facilitator, the R counter, the all-important R counter, Toastmaster Saad. Toastmaster Saad, can you give us an introduction to the role?
Well, I think
Hello. Toastmaster Saad.
Toastmaster Hassan, the R counter is Ali Ashraf.
Okay, all right. Toastmaster Ali, can you give us an introduction? Hello, how are you?
I'm fine. Good evening, Toastmasters. My name is Arshad Khan, and I am going to be the R counter today. My role is to note all the filler words, including r's and repeated words. So over to the Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ali. A very important role that we get to know is how much time we take in doing what we want. And we have a very, very shrewd timer here. So everyone ought to go by timings very, very specifically. We have our DTM Toastmaster Talha doing the timer's role. Toastmaster Talha, could you please give us a lowdown?
Okay, sure. So timer, what timer does is to count the time, to monitor the timings of various speeches and segments according to the allotted timings. And in this new reality, we are doing timing in a virtual way. So I will be displaying green, yellow, and red cards, and I'll be pinning them to the screen. And right now, I'm doing them right now. So please let me know if you can see those cards. Just a second. So for table topics, it will be green on 1 minute, 1.5 minutes for yellow, and 2 minutes on red. And for speeches, it's mostly 5 to 7 minutes or 4 to 6 minutes, whatever it is. The green will be at the minimum time, the yellow will be in the middle time, and the red will be at the maximum allotted time. Can everyone see my screen?
Very much so, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
yes,
great.
we can.
Okay, that's great. That's great. And when you see a red card, whether it's table topics or prepared speech, it means you have 30 seconds to wind up your speech, after which you will be disqualified from being voted upon in the respective category. Similarly, most of the segments also have standard timings, though we don't time them, but just for the guidance of role players and for people who don't know, the role reports are also 1 minute each. And the evaluations are 2 to 3 minutes, 2, 2.5, and 3 minutes. And that's the speech evaluation, and the general evaluation is also standardized at 3 minutes. So in the end, I'll be presenting my report. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Tala. We have the vote counter, Toastmaster Saad, giving us a lowdown of his role. Toastmaster Saad.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the evening. So my role is of the vote counter, and I'll be sending a link in the chat box after every segment of the meeting, which is the prepared speeches, the table topics, the evaluations, and finally the big four. So please vote for the best speaker you seem fit. And yeah, it's over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Saad. Now, before I could call our joke master for the evening, I would like every one of the Toastmasters present here to give a big round of applause and be as noisy as you can to share all the appreciation for all these meeting role holders in advance. So timer, I would like you to time everyone clapping for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Needs to be noisier.
Now this is okay. Those are 10 seconds. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, our joke master of the evening, Toastmaster Hiba. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Hiba.
Actually, Toastmaster Hiba is having, sorry, Toastmaster of the evening. Toastmaster Hiba is having some login problems. So as soon as they are resolved, she will join the meeting, and perhaps we can give her that opportunity after a few speeches.
Very well, so that's very well. So, okay, thank you. And let's move on to our second segment, that of the prepared speeches. Now, the prepared speeches are projects that Toastmasters are given, in which they choose topics of their own liking to speak over, and they are timed projects, and to evaluate the first of those projects, we have Talha bin Hamid evaluating our first speaker, Toastmaster Abdullah Paracha. Toastmaster Talha, I hand it over to you for introducing our first speaker.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the evening. It is an honor and a privilege to welcome Toastmaster Abdullah Paracha. Toastmaster Abdullah actually is a young and upcoming Toastmaster. He belongs to DAO IBHM Toastmasters Club. And trust me, if you haven't attended their meeting yet, these guys are scarily good, scarily dynamic, very quick learners. Once you interact with them, once you be a part of their meeting, you won't know that they've had only 8 meetings so far. But that's the truth. They're a new club. They've had only 8 meetings so far. And yet they have learned, mashallah, so much. And Toastmaster Abdullah Paracha is one of the young and upcoming speakers. Today, he will be delivering his icebreaker. An icebreaker in Toastmasters is a very simple project on the surface, because it just requires a member to introduce themselves. The duration is 4 to 6 minutes, but at the same time, it has the conventional Toastmasters expectations of the speech having a structure, the speech having some vocal variety, some gestures. And the whole point of this speech is that the club gets to know the speaker very well. And I would like to highlight that that's where Toastmasters excels. Because essentially, when you go through journey, when you deliver 15 to 20 speeches, you find that you've delivered your entire biography on stage. Things that you could never dream of telling or saying to anyone else in your life. You come on Toastmasters stage and you deliver them. And the icebreaker is the perfect stage to do that, where I found myself saying things that I never would have dreamt saying. And that's the kind of gateway that Toastmasters provide. So please, let's put our hands together for Toastmaster Abdullah.
Can we wait a minute for the azan to end?
Sure, we can.
Thank you.
And I suggest to Toastmaster of the evening that if after this speech we can have a 5 to 10 minutes prayer break, is that possible?
Yes, very much it is. And then perhaps we could have a recurring meeting, or should we carry on with it?
No, the meeting will continue. The meeting will continue. It's just that we'll have to rejoin. We'll have to just click the button and join in.
All right. So we take a 10 minutes break here, and then we get back to rejoin the meeting.
Okay, and everyone, I'll be timing this break as well. So please be careful.
Am I visible and audible to everyone?
Yes, Abdullah. Yes.
Okay. October 14th, 2016. The day my father lost his life to leukemia. That day, I made a few decisions that changed my life forever and led me to become an entrepreneur and eventually a Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, the story I'm going to share with you is not a typical story of a boy who faced hardship of life after losing his father. It was not the case it wasn't true in my case. Rather, this is the story of an extreme introvert boy who went against all the odds to become an entrepreneur in his teenage. So let's start from the beginning. I was born on January 7th, 1998. Growing up, my father wanted me to become a Hafizul Quran, but he was against the idea of early childhood education or schooling. To him, it was like child abuse. So for most of my childhood, I never went to a school. I was homeschooled till the age of 9, until I got admitted to a madrasa and went on to become a Hafizul Quran 3 years later. Becoming a Hafizul Quran was the most ritualistic moment of my life, was the more remarkable moment of my life, as I realized that I could achieve even more. So after completing my Quran, it was time for my formal education. I had studied till 4th grade at home, so in order to get admission in 9th grade, I had to cover the syllabus of 4 classes in a very limited time. So I did that in a few months and was able to get admission in 9th standard. That was again quite remarkable. I did quite well in 9th and 10th, and when I started my FSC, My father got sick and later got diagnosed with the most aggressive type of leukemia. I spent the 2 years of my college at Khan Hospital, either at the Vito ward, which is for the cancer patients, or at the daycare chemotherapy. During this whole time, when my father was going through chemotherapy, radiations, and all, I discovered my entrepreneurship skill. I studied a lot of books on the subject of entrepreneurship.
Excuse me, Toastmaster Abdullah. Sorry, actually, I'm very sorry. I think we announced a short break for Maghrib, and I believe you missed that announcement. So, would you like, now that I'm back, I'm your evaluator, so can you please restart your speech? Would that be okay with you?
Yes, sure, I can restart. Should I restart now or should I restart after the break?
We have got 5 or 6 minutes remaining in the break, so you can start after the break.
That's better if you started after the break. That will be
Yeah.
good.
And apologies for the confusion. It's all my fault, actually.
No, it's all right.
In any case, I think that sounded pretty good. So looking forward to the real thing.
Yeah, sure. He'll get another chance to do it. Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir, if you can hear me, can you please pass on your project details to Toastmaster Hassan Thebo?
Sure, I'll do that.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tala.
Okay, the 10 minutes are over. Is everyone back? Okay, I believe, yeah, so we'll have our speakers very shortly. Toastmaster Abdullah, are you back or will it take you some time?
I'm here, Toastmaster DTM Tala.
Okay, great. So once again, apologies for the confusion, and you can start the speech. But before that, I recognize my dear friend and president of Century Paper Toastmaster Club, Toastmaster Azam Ali. Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Okay, so Toastmaster Abdullah, as you can see, you are being witnessed by people from at least 4 countries and several presidents and people from at least 5 or 6 clubs around Karachi and the world. So absolutely no pressure, and you can start your speech.
Yes, absolutely no pressure at all.
So you can start, Toastmaster Abdullah.
Yes, sir. Am I audible and visible to everyone?
To me, you are, yes. I believe to everyone else too.
I think the screen keeps changing when others are speaking.
All right. October 14th, 2016, the day my father lost his life to leukemia. That day, I made a few decisions that changed my life forever and led me to become an entrepreneur and eventually a Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, the story I'm going to share with you is not a typical story of a boy who faced hardships of life after losing his father. It wasn't true in my case. Rather, this is a story of an extreme introvert boy who went against all the odds to become an entrepreneur in his teenage. So let's start from the beginning. I was born on January 7th, 1998. Growing up, my father wanted me to become a Hafiz Quran. But he was against the idea of early childhood schooling. For him, it was like child abuse. So for most of my childhood, I never went to a school. I was homeschooled till the age of 9. When I finally got admitted to a madrasa and went on to become a Hafiz Quran 3 years later. Becoming a Hafiz was the most remarkable and the most rejuvenate moment of my life, as I had realized that I could achieve a lot more. After completing my Quran, it was time for my formal education. I had studied till 4th grade at home, and to get admission in 9th grade, I had to complete syllabus of 4 years in a very limited time. And I did that, and was able to get admission in 9th standard, which was quite remarkable. I did pretty well in 9th and 10th standard, and when I started my FSC, my father got sick. And later on, he was diagnosed with the most aggressive type of leukemia. I spent 2 years of my college at the Ahon hospital, either at the D2 ward, which is for the cancer patients, or at the daycare chemotherapy. During this whole time, when my father was going through chemotherapy, radiations and all, I discovered my interest for entrepreneurship. I read hundreds of books on the subject of entrepreneurship and business, listened to tons of videos and motivational speeches, and I thought I was ready to become a businessman. But my family wanted me to become an engineer. After completing my FSC, my father got a relapse. His condition became critical, and later that year he passed away. I was 18 at that time. I had literally nothing to worry about. Thanks to my strong family background, me and my family was well cared of. But still, I wanted to do something on my own. So I decided to pursue my career in entrepreneurship and not to follow the rat race. At that time, I thought degree is not important when it comes to entrepreneurship, but I was absolutely wrong. Later on, I realized that. So, seeing my interest in business and entrepreneurship, my family gave me green signal to start a business. So I established an RO plant, a drinking water business. I started the business and I failed miserably. At that moment, I realized the fact that no matter how many books you read or how many motivational videos you watch, it is not equivalent to experience. You need practical knowledge to run a successful business. And I went into depression because of the fact that my family trusted me with the money and now I was losing it. But then came a person in my life who taught me so well and guided me so well. And because of him, I was able to get out of depression and focus on my business. I was able to turn it around and make it profitable. And soon I started earning a handsome amount of money. But then again, I got a reality check and life gave me another lesson. My mentor showed his real colors. He installed a brand new plant next door to mine, which was like 10 times bigger than mine, and asked me to close my business and work for him. At that moment, I realized that how helpless and helpful I had become. I had given all my decision-making power to him, and I could not say no to him. My introvert nature was taking over my entrepreneurial nature. So somehow I stood up for myself and asked him to please leave me alone and let me do my business and let him do his thing. But he was not ready to listen and to know. He turned evil. He tried everything he could to ruin my business. He took everything away from me, my clients, my employees, my looting vehicles, and a lot more, claiming that it was his. And just when I was about to collapse and I was about to shut down, he called me and said, "When you're done with your business, come to me. My doors are always open for you." That was the last push I needed. I started once again, and this time not from scratch, but from experience. And to everyone's surprise, especially my mentor's surprise, I was able to pull it off without anyone's help. I managed to make it even more profitable than it was before. So if an entrepreneur like me, if an introvert like me can become an entrepreneur, which is like two opposite things, I hope everyone can achieve anything they want. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Abdullah. A big round of applause for him. That'll be great appreciation for him, great encouragement.
Okay, I'd like to interject here as a timer. Somehow, yes, I kept the timing, but I could not display the timing sheets. But nevertheless, Toastmaster Abdullah has spent 5 minutes, 30 seconds, so he's well within time. So apologies for that.
All right, thank you for that important information, Toastmaster Tala. Now, the next speaker, who's a banker by profession, he is doing his presentation mastery level 1 project, evaluation and feedback. I would be evaluating his project, and the title of his speech is Digital Banking. The time allowed is 5 to 7 minutes. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir.
Just before I start my presentation, I just want to check if I can share this thing on my screen, because I'll be putting this on the screen during my presentation. Can everybody confirm if this is...
Do you mean to say that you want to know if you're visible?
Is it visible?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Okay, good. Fine. So let me just pause share. So, am I visible now?
Yes, you are.
Okay, I'll be sharing this. Okay. Toastmaster of the evening, my fellow Toastmasters and guests. If I tell you a word to imagine, and that word is bank, B-A-N-K, bank, So what will be the first thing which will come into your mind? Yes, of course. While entering a bank, you will see a security guard. You will see a signage. When you enter into the bank, you will see a lot of tables on both the sides, and then a cash counter right there in front of you. Of course, there will be a staff, a bank staff. And maybe on the right or the left hand, an ATM machine. When you further enter into the bank, you will see a branch manager's room and then a locker at the end. Is that what we imagine? If the word bank comes into our mind? What if I tell you that the bank can be in your pocket? Would everyone believe this statement? Some of you, yes, who are familiar to digital banking, and some of you who are not familiar to digital banking will not, because the digitization and the future bank is this one, your cell phone, your mobile banking. We all must have gone to any of the branch of any of the bank to do some transactions by writing the checks, by standing in queues, by making the payments of the bills, or maybe transferring some money into any other person's account. So what digital banking is all about? Digital banking is about making transaction at the comfort of your home. You don't need to go anywhere else. So yes, you can make the bill payments, you can transfer the funds, you can make a fee payment of your child's school, and many other utility bill payments as well. So no need to go to the branch. But today, I'm not going to cover the entire digital banking or the mobile banking. I'm going to tell one of the feature in which HBL is the pioneer in doing so in Pakistani market. So what is that? Now we all know if we would like to apply for a credit card or a personal loan, we might have to come to the branch, or somebody will come to us and will ask us to fill lots and lots of documentation. And then maybe a salary slip or bank statement or many more other documentation will be required. And of course, what we are going to do, we are going to keep calling up that sales representative as to what is the status of my car or loan, as to where it is right now. And this time it will take at least good 10 to 15 days. This is what we all have gone through. But what if I tell you this, that now, since HBL is a pioneer, at a click of a button, you can get the personal loan or the credit card right away. Yes, so I'm going to start my presentation. I'm going to share something and will take you through as to what this feature is all about. So this is the screen as to how when you are going to log in. This screen will come up and will ask the customer regarding his or her interest in personal loans. So if the customer presses yes, it will take to the next screen and will say, thank you for your interest, and will revert back. And within span of fraction of seconds, the other screen will pop up. And that screen will, if the loan gets approved, 99% cases, the loan gets approved. So if the loan gets approved, the customer, the individual who has already logged into a mobile banking will get this screen, congratulations, your loan or the credit card has been approved. So in case of a loan, if the customer wants to avail and press the avail button, a list of 5 options will be displayed. So these 5 options will be for the first year, second year, third year, fourth year, and fifth year, what sort of a loan amount and the installment amount will be for the customer. So if the individual or the customer presses any option, let's say assuming presses the fifth option, the 5-year option. So the next screen will be a kind of a term sheet will be displayed to the customer. In this situation, the customer has pressed say 2 years. So 2 years, he can apply for 390,000 and at certain rate, and the installment amount will be this. So on confirmation, that is by pressing the confirm button, the individual will be taken to an undertaking which is mandated by State Bank of Pakistan. Upon submission of this, the customer will be asked for terms and conditions, and I'm sure nobody reads these terms and conditions. We all know. So this is more of a legal requirement as to what sort of conditions, terms and conditions are regarding the loan, tenure, and everything regarding the undertaking of the customer. So these are pretty long, won't be covering in this presentation. And yes, the last and the final screen, which I love, is the instant click and instant dispersal into the loan. So this is the feature which is there. Unfortunately, people are not aware of it. But however, thanks to this COVID-19, people have started utilizing this facility and customers are now more comfortable. Unlike Careem, Uber, Foodpanda, Facebook, Instagram, they are all super duper applications which have done tremendously well for their organization. Today, why many of us are not aware of the mobile app feature, which is the blessing of not going to the branch, I give the blame to us, the bankers. The bankers are to be blamed. So, in short, this can be done into seconds, into minutes, and this is about my presentation. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, of the evening. Thank you very much.
Sir, I could not hear you. Were you introducing me just now?
Your mic is muted. TM Hassan.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
I'm sorry about that. Toastmaster Hina, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so next, I believe no one would have heard me applauding for asking you all to applaud for Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir. So let's give him another round of applause. Thank you, thank you. Our next speaker is Toastmaster Mariam, and she's being introduced along with her project by seasoned Toastmaster, Toastmaster Hina Osaf. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Hina.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hassan. Yes, I will be evaluating Toastmaster Mujeeb Arif today on her project 3 from the Advanced Speech Manual. And the project is known as Make Them Laugh. Her objectives today are to prepare a humorous speech drawn from her own experiences, strengthen the speech by adapting and personalizing humorous material from outside sources, and to deliver the speech in a way that makes the humor effective. Your time is 5 to 7 minutes. Best of luck, Toastmaster Mariam.
Am I visible and audible?
Yes, you are.
Just a minute.
Toastmaster Mariam, before you could start, can I ask everyone to please mute their microphones? Thank you.
A small handful of neem leaves, half teaspoon of black seeds, 1 tablespoon of honey, and 1 lemon. Nobody's writing this? Well, I wonder why. Because this secret kahwa recipe is the cure for coronavirus, according to a forward message sent by my uncle on the family WhatsApp group. Now, the same uncle who previously, before the coronavirus outbreak, used to punctually send good morning messages on the group with images of the sun, rainbow, raindrops, and multicolored flowers, in the petals of which there are quotes about positivity and optimism, written in that beautiful italic font. Now, that same uncle's day now begins by posting desi remedies that can possibly kill the coronavirus and ends by posting voice notes of suspicious people who are trying to prove how all of this is a conspiracy. And mind you, they're more confident about their conspiracy theories than WHO officials are when they talk about this pandemic. So one day, he posted a video in which he showed a man who was saying that the coronavirus was man-made so that it can be used as a biological weapon to kill innocent people all around the world. And in order to provide evidence for his claim, he showed a bottle of Dettol surface cleaner. Yes, a bottle of Dettol surface cleaner. And he then started reading the name of the pathogens that the surface cleaner could kill, which were E. coli, Salmonella, influenza, and on number 4 was the deadly coronavirus. And then he showed the production date of this product, which is somewhere around the mid of 2019, and concluded the video by saying that hence it has been proved that even the manufacturers of the Dettol surface cleaner knew about the coronavirus and this upcoming outbreak. Or else, why would they specifically mention coronavirus behind their bottle, claiming that it could kill it in the mid of 2019, the time when nobody knew about coronavirus and a pandemic was nowhere in sight? Now, when I saw that video, it completely blew my mind, because I just couldn't understand that how could someone make up absolutely anything on their own and then even have the courage to post it online. But on the other hand, in the WhatsApp groups, everyone started appreciating that video by sending clapping emojis. So as a medical student, I believe that it was my responsibility to educate everyone about it. So I wrote a message and I told everyone that coronaviruses are a group of RNA viruses that were first discovered in the 1930s. And they were also responsible for the SARS outbreak that took place in the past. This strain, known as COVID-19, is the one that has been recently discovered, not the whole family of viruses. But nobody responded to my message by those slapping emojis. Instead, my uncle who had posted that video responded to my message by saying, source with a question mark next to it. Nobody questioned the source of the video, just like nobody questions the source of the hundreds of fake articles and voice notes posted into this group every day. But if I post a valid, authentic piece of information, everybody wants to know the source of it. So that is when I promised myself that I would never post anything into this family WhatsApp group. I left that group. But the next day, I was added back again. So I thought maybe they had realized that I was offended and this was their way of apologizing. And everything was back to normal. But things didn't stay like this for long. And so, in the first week of March, when it was initially announced that all educational institutes would remain closed for the next 15 days over fears of the possible spread of coronavirus, my aunt thought that these were vacations that everybody was supposed to enjoy. So she proposed an idea about having a family picnic at Seaview. And she said that since the kids are so exhausted of their studies, everybody is just so bored of sitting at home, this seems to be the perfect time of the year to have a family picnic. Now, I know, I'm not that sort of person who goes to family gatherings and events. You know, like in every family, you do have that one relative who never bothers to show up. I admit, I am that relative in my family, but that does not mean that I've lost the right to contribute to these plans and share my advice over it. So, in the interest of the health and safety of my family members and the general population of Karachi, I wrote a message in which I told everyone that these holidays were given for a reason, and that was so that we can practice social distancing, because this right now is the effective way, the most effective way to contain and mitigate the virus and to flatten the curve. Now, when I posted that message, everybody started responding to it by sending that red-colored, angry-faced emojis, and I was like, okay, this reaction, this resistance is expected, but since I'm doing this for a good cause, with good intentions, I don't mind. But then my uncle, who previously posted that video and questioned the source of my content, responded to my message by saying, social distancing, ha ha ha. Haven't you been practicing this since so long? Won't be a problem for you. Now I could see that he was just trying to be savage and attack me for never being there at family events, so I've technically lost the right to comment on them. But then came the queen of savagery herself, my aunt. She tagged me and wrote, "Who's inviting you, kiddo?" And after that humiliation, I was back to making the same promise again, that I would never post into the family WhatsApp group again, and it has been muted forever. Over to the Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Mariam. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Mariam. Thank you. Our next speaker, Toastmaster Ali Hasnan, is being evaluated by another very competent Toastmaster, Toastmaster Asghar.
Toastmaster Hassan?
I think I was informed that the speaker is not available today. So
yes, he's not. Yes, he's not here.
We can move forward.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Urisa, for informing me. Now, timer, has everyone qualified with their projects and the timing, timing-wise? Your microphone is muted, I'm afraid.
Sorry. Yeah, there is one thing that I want the presiding officer to take a decision on. The first speaker had qualified, and so has the last speaker, the Toastmaster Mariam. The second speaker, Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir, actually went 7 seconds over time, but that was perhaps because I could not display the timing cards because he was displaying his screen. So I want the presiding officer to decide whether he should be made part of the voting or not. The situation is before you.
Yes, let's make him part of the voting.
All right, great. I would ask all the Toastmasters to cast their ballots in favor of the speaker that they found did a good job. With that, we'll move on to our next segment, that of the table topics session. And for the table topics, we have with us another very, very competent Toastmaster, very hardworking. She's proved herself to be into many things at the same time, multitasking brilliantly with wonderful results. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster. Sorry, it's actually Toastmaster Talha. It's not a he, so I'll correct the pronoun. It's Toastmaster Talha, DTM Talha, who would be taking us on with the table topics session. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Talha.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Hassan Tebo. And as always, you are very generous with your introductions and always manage to embarrass me. So today's table topic sessions are a little bit unique, and I've tried to make them fun. What happens in a table topics session is that the table topics master assigns a topic and the speakers are asked to respond to it or to speak on it. But I've changed things up a little bit. I will give the speakers not a topic, not a starting point, but an end point. And they have to work up a story to reach to that point. So I hope I'm clear. And I see a delicious variety of Toastmasters today. My goodness, from all over Pakistan. So I'm spoiled for choice. And my first victim / speaker would be none other than President of CA Toastmasters Club Peshawar, Toastmaster Kashif Sehgal. Toastmaster Kashif, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you.
So first, okay, thank you so much for joining us. And today before I assign you the first topic, I will ask, can someone please take the timing duties for this particular session? Because it will be difficult for me to manage both the things. So can anyone volunteer?
Toastmaster Tala, I could do that.
Okay, that's wonderful, Toastmaster Hassan.
Send me the sheets if you can, please.
Sorry?
The colored sheets if you can.
Okay, fair enough. I'll send you a PowerPoint that I've been using. So you can use the same. And okay. And secondly, can anyone remind me, since it is not noted here, what is the word of the day? Word master, can you remind? Sorry?
Pioneer.
Pioneer. Okay. Okay, fair enough. So pioneer. So that is Pioneer, right?
Well,
is that
it is almost what you spelled it.
Then please, can you spell it out in the chat box, because I've forgotten it, and if I don't remind the word of the day, then there won't be much point of the table topic session. So okay, so anyone, what's the word of the day?
Pioneer.
It's pioneer. Pioneer.
Okay, fair enough.
कितने हो गए? एक ही.
So Toastmaster Kashif Sehgal, your topic, your punchline that you've got to get to is, and that's how I got beaten up by that girl.
Okay. Let me see. No, I can't do it. Okay. I'll just say. Thank you so much, table topic master Talha bin Ahmed, who is the pioneer of number of clubs in Pakistan. The topic I've been assigned is how I got beaten up by a girl, and that should how it should end. So guys, let me tell you, one day I wore on my new shirt, put gel in my hair, removed my glasses, and put on my contact lenses. And I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, hey, I don't look much lesser than any Bollywood hero, or for Pakistan, Fawad Khan. So I'm walking out on my street and I see this beautiful girl, and I thought, hey, I don't look any lesser good looking than Fawad Khan, and I'm sure all these women are going to fall for me. So what do? Naturally, I said, hi. And she replied back, hi. And it boosted my confidence. I thought she is waving at me. So full with confidence and thinking that I look so good, I walked up to her and I said, you were waving at me? And she said, no, it was actually the guy behind you. And that's my husband. And I turned around and see there's this huge guy with huge muscles walking up to me. And then they got together and he said, look, I have got a punishment for you, the guy tells me. And I said, what that is? And he said, I can beat the tea out of you, but I am not going to do that. I'll let my wife do that and do the honors. And that's how on that day I got beaten up by a woman. Thank you so much, Talha bin Hamid. Thank you for putting me on the spot. And even though you are pioneer, you made me pioneer a new story. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kashif Saigal. It's always amazing to see you. It's amazing to have you in meetings. And somehow having you brings out the worst instincts in someone else. So I will continue with the table topic session. And our next speaker would be Toastmaster Kenny. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. So your topic or your concluding line, I hope you heard the description of the table topic session today.
Yeah.
Okay.
I understand.
Great. Okay. So your concluding or your punchline is, and ever since then, I cannot go into the kitchen without screaming.
Sure.
And word of the day is pioneer.
Pioneer. Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, I was 10 years old and I was really, really into science. I love science. I thought that one day I could become a scientist, a pioneer of some new field, or maybe branch upon an existing field. So one day I was in the kitchen and I was making some toast, and I put the bread into the toaster, switched on the toaster. Then I thought to myself, I wonder how hot the heating elements of a toaster can really, really get. So I got a knife, full-on metal knife, no plastic, and I decided, why don't I put the knife in the toaster and then check how hot the knife is afterwards. So I put the knife in the toaster, and immediately I see flames jumping out of the toaster, and I jumped back in shock, my heart racing. At the time, I had a baby sister. She was in the living room and it was just us all alone. And I was thinking, well, what am I going to do? The flames are rising up and I need to get out. But fortunately, believe it or not, the flames died down by themselves. And that was a very fateful day. And that was the day where I was very, very scared to go back into the kitchen.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kenny. And I mean, I cannot believe how amazing these responses are. We are lucky to have such an august gathering today. And my next topic would be, okay, but first I should identify the speaker, right? So just a second. Just let me look at all the windows. Okay. Our next speaker today is none other than Toastmaster Zishan Khan. Toastmaster Zishan, can you hear us?
Yes, of course.
Okay, that's great. So, yeah. So Toastmaster Zishan, your topic is, and that is when my wife screamed. And word of the day is pioneer.
First of all, it's been a very long time.
Sorry.
Can you guys hear me?
Sorry?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, your voice is a little bit unclear. Can you
guys hear me now?
Yeah. It's perfectly clear. It's perfectly clear. Yeah.
All right. So first of all, thank you very much for the Toastmasters. It's been a very long time. I've been hibernating as coronavirus is, or the business is. Every Toastmaster who is attending it. The topic is this is where my wife got scared, right? Is that correct?
No. That is when my wife screamed at me.
Oh, that's okay. So it's just so happened that we are in Karachi. We are actually not downs and the restrictions and the timings and so on and so forth. So we're kind of sneaking our way out to celebrate and party and so on and so forth. So it just recently happened that we had a barbecue, and in that barbecue, we all were busy cooking and everything. And the barbecue was of chops, meat chops, and chicken tikka. I'm sure everybody is hungry right now. So we were busy doing that, and everybody was playing. The music was on in a silent way so that nobody can hear what's cooking inside. Social distancing was nowhere near, and everybody was just kind of enjoying and having fun. Whereas there is something, a devastating scream, not from my wife, but then from the cousins and everything, came out loud in the kitchen. And this is where my wife was standing. And she had no clue why they were screaming. And she stood right next to that oven. This is where the action happened. When she saw a really nice, creamy, thick lizard an inch away where she was standing. And this is how she screamed at everyone, not me. Over.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Zishan. Just give me a second, and then we'll move on to our next speaker. In the meantime, Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster Hassan, please feel free to interrupt me and stop me when my allotted time for this segment is over. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. So our next speaker for today is so much choice. Right. We have an old absconder who has returned to this club after quite a while. And I'm so happy to see him that I will assign him a table topic today. And he is none other than Toastmaster Ali Zargam. Can you hear me, Toastmaster Ali? Toastmaster Ali, can you hear us? Okay, never mind. We'll move on to our next speaker, and that next speaker would be Toastmaster Ehtesham from Saudi. Toastmaster Ehtesham, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, that's great. That's great. So your punchline is, and that was my last moment on this planet. And that was my last moment on this planet. Word of the day is pioneer. Off you go.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. It was great to see everybody's speeches. And my punchline, that was my last moment in this planet. That day I received a call. That was from my wife asking me to go to cinema. That was the beginning of the March when this virus was spreading. And out of very much curiosity, we wanted to watch that movie called Bad Boys for Life. And we had been planning to go to cinema for a long time, but we couldn't due to busy time. We purchased the tickets, decided to go together, leave our kids to the family. The cinema is for a very long drive. And when we reached there, they told us, listen, due to the coronavirus, you're not being able to, we're shutting down the cinema or you cannot attend this movie anymore. I turned around, look at the wife, said, listen, I told you already, the same husband-wife thing. And that was, I really wish that, not believe that it was the end of the planet. But the planet still continues and I hope the world still continues. Thank you so very much, everyone.
You can also ask me.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Haider. And
Master Tala, can you give me one moment? I need to make a brief announcement here.
Sure.
Toastmasters, if you vote privately towards the vote counter, please. Write the speaker's name and all that to the vote counter, please.
So shall I continue, Toastmaster Hassan? Are you done?
Yes, please carry on.
Okay. Thank you so much. So, okay, next I'll call on one of our finest members, a very fine lady, and someone who is always an inspiration, though she is far less present in the meetings that we'd like, but still we are lucky to have her. And again, as a reward, we are calling her for table topics. And so Toastmaster Hina, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay, so Toastmaster Hina.
Yes, sir.
Your topic is, and I know this is, none of these topics are particularly fun, but they are being dealt very well. So next thing, so your topic is, next thing I knew, my complaint had gone to the principal.
Oh, okay. So this is a funny story.
Word of the day is pioneer.
It's pioneer. I got that. So thank you, Toastmaster Talha. I'm doing this after a very long time. And as soon as you said this, the next thing I know, my complaint had gone to the principal. This actually happened. And so I was in grade 10 in my school. That's, I guess, 01 as we see it over here. And for some strange reason, I was a helpful person and my teacher decided that I could be the monitor of the class, the badge and all that. Hina Ali gung-ho about being monitor. Comes along one day, our teacher for a period, I forget which one it was, but the teacher hadn't arrived and a substitute wasn't in. And I tried to control the class and I couldn't. They were completely rowdy. And because I couldn't manage that, I went and said to the administrator in the office that I can't, they're making too much noise, they're not listening to me. Little did I know that this little complaint of, I was just trying to maybe ask for assistance of the administrator, it went to the principal. And that was the end of my tenure as a monitor, sadly. So much for leadership. Big lesson learned. You don't turn on your classmates, but just try to manage a situation the best you can. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Talha.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Hina. I can't resist sharing my very similar experience of mine. I happen to be very close to my teachers. I used to be their favorite. and therefore a despised creature amongst my fellow students. And one day I made the mistake, the fatal mistake of tattling on them when they were cheating in a test. And you could have imagined what would happen next. So I've been suffering the psychological scars to this day. So that's how life is. Okay, our next speaker would be, okay, so there are so many people. And okay, so let's venture outside our club a bit for this one. And let's see if we can convince Toastmaster Vania Abbasi from Dow IBHM Toastmasters Club. Toastmaster Vania, can you hear us?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Okay, that's great. So Toastmaster Vania, first of all, the word of the day is pioneer, and your topic is, and that was when I could do nothing but cry.
That was when I could do nothing but
Cry.
cry. All right. Thank you so much, Table Topics Master. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. This is Toastmaster Vanya, Vice President Education of Dallas IBHM Toastmasters Club. And the topic that I'm given is, and that was when I could do nothing but cry. Well, that takes me to the past. When was that? Yes, I remember. So this is when we were in school and we were playing basketball in the playground. And our teacher had lined us all in a row, in 2 rows basically. And we all were very attentive as she was throwing a basketball to everyone and was judging who can catch it better. So I, for some reason, was distracted and she thought that I'm talking. And then she threw the ball at me. That was her intention, was to gain my attention, but the ball hit me at my face and I could not do anything but cry. I tried holding it up, but it made me cry anyway. And I still remember that teacher to the day, and I will never forget her, and obviously not in good words. Well, moving on, let's get on to the good parts. The moment when I got position in my matriculation was the time that I could do nothing but cry. The moment when I was on stage and got the first prize for the best actor and saw my mother in the audience in tears, that was the moment. I could do nothing but cry out of joy. So those are some of the moments, one sad and one happy, where I could do nothing but cry. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Talha.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vania. As always, a pleasure to listen to you. Just give me a moment and okay. Toastmaster Hassan, can I know you asked me to end the session. Can I have one more speaker?
Sure, you can carry on.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, so our next speaker would be, okay, let me see. We are spoiled for choice today. And our last speaker for today would be none other than Toastmaster Fahad Warsi. Toastmaster Fahad, can you hear me? Toastmaster Fahad, can you hear us?
Am I audible to you?
Yes, you are, Toastmaster Fahad. Can you hear me?
I am hearing you.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so Toastmaster Fahad, first of all, the word of the day is pioneer, and your topic is, just give me a second. Okay. Your topic is, and I have been mad at my friend. Yeah, and I have been mad at my friend ever since. Can you hear me, Toastmaster Fahd?
Yeah, I'm ready, but can you repeat please the topic?
Yeah. And I have been mad at my friend ever since.
Okay. One of my friend, I can change his name. His name is for best friend from my childhood. And what made me about him that his quality about that he will always be very much caring, he will always be loving, and he will always be very much good to affect me about everything. When I was in trouble, he was going to give me support when I was in some trouble times. So therefore, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Ahmed was very much belonged from a very good family, and we are very much from childhood we are very much close together. And whenever I need his support, he was very kind to me. And we always be in our university days. He supported me in those times when I was looking for some, I was training for my some girls, and he always support me financially when I was looking for finance to give gifts to my different girlfriends. So I was really mad for him, and he's pioneer for me that he always be very much he was very much kind and loving when I need him so much. So that's all. Actually, I joined just and I was very much just you gave me the topic and I'm not very much prepared about it. That's all from my side.
Thank you, Toastmaster Fahad Warsi. Being not prepared for topics is what table topics are all about. And yeah, and while there was some disturbance in the voice, I believe you were perfectly audible, at least to me, and I hope you were audible to all the others as well. So that concludes our table topics for today. I thank everyone for participating and giving us some amazing speeches. So with that, I hand over the charge back to our Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster Hassan Thebo. And Toastmaster Hassan, before I hand over the charge, as a timer, I'd like to report that all the speakers have qualified.
All right, thank you very much. Please put your hands together for all the speakers and our brilliant table topics master. Before I could move on, there's a bit of an announcement that our vote counter would like to make here. Toastmaster Saad, it's all yours.
Yeah. So, thank you very much. So I just wanted to say that for some reason, the link for the votes can't be accessed through Zoom. So for the voting for the table topics and so on will be, the link will be sent on our group, and then those who don't have that access can message me via private message on Zoom. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Saad. It's time we get into the table topics session. Before that, do cast your votes. And if you haven't casted your votes for the prepared speakers as well, do so by now. And to lead us on with the with the evaluations segment, we have with us a very never gives up, always trying to give her best to what she does. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Hiba. Toastmaster Hiba.
Am I visible and audible to everyone? Okay, I'm the general evaluator. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Evaluation is a very important part of our daily lives. And evaluation is usually done in, or we can say that evaluation is done in all aspects from speeches to meetings. And without evaluation, we cannot hope to improve on what we want to, on what we aim to. And like all other aspects, evaluation is an important part of Toastmasters. And without it, we cannot hope to improve in our speeches. And now, sorry, this is taking a lot of and now I would introduce the prepared speech evaluators for today. For the first speaker, TM Abdullah Paracha, we have DTM Talha bin Hamid. So please could you give your evaluation, DTM Talha?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Hiba. Toastmaster Abdullah, first of all, can you hear me?
Yes, you can tell her. I can hear you.
Okay. Let me start right off the bat by saying that it's very hard to evaluate your speech objectively. And let me tell you why. Because your story is highly inspirational and very affecting. And experienced Toastmasters know that sometimes it gets very difficult to separate that from the merits or demerits of a speech. But I mean that in a good way. Speeches are one thing, but what you've experienced through life, how you have dealt with the lemons that life has handed you, and how you've managed to find the courage to hit rock bottom and then get up again and again, that is very inspiring to all of us. One could have never imagined that a person as young as you would have gone through so many trials. So congratulations on that. And I believe that with that comes a certain seriousness to life's outlook that was reflected in your speech. Because your speech was very well structured, let me congratulate you on that. As I've mentioned time and time again, that DAO, IBHM students and Toastmasters members never let anyone know that they're so new at this, because mashallah, they've learned so well. And that was adequately reflected in your speech. The structure was very impressive. You fulfilled the project's requirements very admirably. It was as if you have read each and every requirement and you've ensured that one by one, all of that was fulfilled. So that was amazingly done. In terms of your delivery, and that's where Toastmasters presents a fundamental contradiction, because in the evaluation sheet for this project, it has certain expectations about vocal variety, about eye contact, about body language. But then again, one dares to ask that if this is a person's first speech, how many skills can they be expected to have? And but trying to skirt around that, I'll just comment that your speech had very good flow. You were very confident, mashallah, never for a moment that you looked to be faltering. And you remembered the sequence of events, you recalled it very, very well. I don't know whether you wrote it and then memorized it or whether you wrote the outline. Whatever your approach is, it worked very, very well because I could sense a flow to the events and the speech. You stood up and you delivered the speech, which was very admirable because many Toastmasters find it difficult to do with Zoom, but you did that and you stayed within the speaking area. So that's all I've got to do. It was a very competent speech with a very, very inspiring story. And you did not let that your delivery and fireworks stand in the way of your speech. And as a result, we got to know you amazingly well as a person, as a human being, as an achiever. And I believe that was the purpose of your icebreaker, and congratulations. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Toastmaster Hiba, are you there?
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
So, I just called out your name.
Yes. Okay, I must have missed that. Okay, I'll evaluate the next speaker that I'm supposed to.
Ghulam Qadir.
Yeah.
Evaluating.
Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, great. Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir, I found you to be a very, very confident speaker. You have very good ability of using gestures quite comfortably. You used many gestures when you talked about entering the office, and when one enters the office, you pointed towards the desk on the right, and you had quite many gestures that you used very comfortably. Your eye contact was also good when you were pointing towards that the desk at the right hand. You looked at the desk and then you got looked back in the front. That was very good. I believe you are quite comfortable with body movement as well. I like the opening, yes, but I've found the closing somewhat abrupt or short, maybe. That's a better thing. You had a short closure or conclusion. Other than that, perhaps what I could say is that in your opening, if you could have, to attract more interest, if you could have brought a dollar sign, a dollar note, and had everyone view it, and then go silent for some moment, and then started your speech from there, adding a sentence or two to link it with what you have. You did use props, that mobile and all that, which is a good thing. But overall, I found your speech very, very good. You're a very confident speaker, and you're going to do very good in the future. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hassan. Thank you, Toastmaster Hassan, for the evaluation.
Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster, General Evaluator.
Cannot hear you.
Evaluating.
Toastmaster Eva, your voice was cut off. Can you repeat what you just said?
Okay, for the third speaker, TM Mariam Arif, TM Hena Osaf, could I have you? Could you open your window, please?
Yes, my window is open. It's on.
For the one who will be evaluating TM Mariam. So please start.
Okay, first of all, can everybody see me? Hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Good evening again, everybody. So as I had mentioned before, I will be evaluating Toastmaster Mariam's Project 3, Make Them Laugh. from the advanced speaking manual. Now, this is a very, very challenging project. So first off, I congratulate Toastmaster Mujeeb Arif for attempting this. I'd like everybody to at least give her that. Now, great, thank you. So what I liked best about this project, and it's not an easy one to do. Humor is not easy at all, as it sounds. What was really good is Toastmaster Mariam went ahead and picked up a theme which is very relevant and something that's on everybody's minds these days, coronavirus. And something that this project requires is within a theme to have pegs. So she chose a very, very effective peg, and that is all of these conspiracy theories and all sorts of cures going around on the internet, on our WhatsApp groups. So very well chosen topic and peg. Now, going from there, what she did is she didn't just generally talk about things that were going around. She then went on to use her personal experiences, something that's always endearing with audiences. Because when we share personal experiences, everybody remembers theirs and connects. So very well done on that. Having said all of that, what I found is as a speaker, as always, you were confident, well prepared, you owned the stage, moved around well, used effective hand gestures. Something that needed to come out more was in terms of the things that you were sharing, a lot of them we've all experienced. And I found myself smiling, and I'm as per the project's evaluation requirements, I need to also be able to see reactions. But I was only able to see mine and our TMOD of the day. So I found that both of us occasionally smiled at some of the things that you said. However, this was a humorous speech. You needed to really draw your audience in and get laughter. Okay, so that somehow somewhere got missed. If I think about it, I think your topic was good and what you shared was good. Possibly you had some twists, but you were sort of going through it too fast. You didn't have appropriate pauses to allow your audience to wait for a punchline and then probably laugh at that. That was one thing. And then the other thing that I noticed, in this environment where we're talking through on the camera, it's important that you were, of course, delivering your speech as if there was an audience in front of you. But it would have been nice if you made eye contact with the camera so that the audience watching you on the camera would have felt more involved. I think these two things may have helped you engage your audience more with humor. Having said that, I still feel you're a great speaker, and you can definitely make us laugh because I have laughed before when you've spoken. So tough speech, well done. Just work on your pauses and eye contact, which is very basic here. Other than that, very endearing topic. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you.
Toastmaster Hiba, please unmute your microphone.
Yes, am I audible now?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Now I would like I would ask upon the timer, have all the evaluators qualified?
Yes, they have qualified.
Okay, and now I would ask everyone to vote for the best evaluator. Okay, and after that, the links have been shared in the group. The link, sorry. And now I would call upon the table topic evaluator, TM Urusa Kabal, to give the evaluation for the table topic session.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hina. Hiba, sorry. Thank you, Toastmaster Hiba.
Can I interrupt here a bit?
Yeah, sure.
Sorry. Yeah, very sorry, Toastmaster. So actually, Mr. Vote Counter, can you check the voting link once again? Because for me, at least, it's not working. Has anyone else tried and has it worked for them?
It's not working. I've tried.
Working.
It's working for me.
Actually, it leads you towards another link that he shared above the message.
Okay, fair enough.
So,
Fair enough. Fair enough. Actually, it's a traffic issue. So when I clicked on a PC, it blocked me too much traffic. But then from my phone, it works. So I guess it's working. Thank you so much.
The session was conducted in the uncomfortable.
Okay. So let's start with Toastmaster Kashif. Your topic was beaten by a lady. You used the word of the day very brilliantly, and the best thing about you was that you centered yourself onto the screen. And when you were giving your speech, I could see you sitting and yet fully visible. Now, I think that is a very good display or maybe usage of the screen, plus to give a speech while seated and be visible completely. That is something no one has done so far. I have not seen anyone give a speech like that. So that is something I think so Toastmasters can use in their speeches if they want to and try to use. So that is one thing. And your story was very good and it was very well crafted. Where, slowly you were coming up to the story and it was very well done. So hats off to what you did. Toastmaster Kenny, scared to go into the kitchen. Very good content, and I believe your story was true. You came up with a very good story, and it really kept me engaged till the end. And I think you could have given it a little bit more a proper ending. I wanted to know what more happened towards the end, what happened to you and your sister. So maybe a well-crafted ending would have been good. Toastmaster Zishan, a very anti-quarantine story, very well crafted, very good pauses. The description of the lizard was almost delicious, I must say, although it was in the end, but anyways. And like always, you always come up with a good story. Toastmaster Ehtisham, and that was my last moment on this planet. Good story, good facial expressions. However, you could have spoken a little louder. I was barely hearing you. So you have a very confident stance of speaking. Maybe just being a little louder would make you appear a little more confident. Toastmaster Hina, you are a very confident speaker and your facial expressions are awesome. You narrate a lot more with your expression than your words. You also have very good pauses. So while you're giving that pause, I can actually build a mental picture of what you are saying. Please keep giving speeches. Toastmaster Vanya, you did something no one did. You brought in multiple stories instead of going with one story. So you handled the topic very well. Your expressions were really good. You are a very confident speaker, and you were the only speaker, I think, who had a proper opening, a body, and an ending. Very good structure of the speech. Toastmaster Fahad, and I have been mad at my friend. You told us about a friend, and obviously you are very fond of him. I could see that you, I couldn't see much of you because your video was closed, so I cannot say much about your expressions. However, the topic was why you are angry at him, or why you maybe a instance where you might have been angry at him. We could not find. I could not find that, or maybe the others also could not find that. So maybe you could have added that. Otherwise, your story structure was all good. Over to you, Toastmaster Hiba.
Okay, now I would like reports from the facilitators. The word master, could I have your report?
Okay, actually, the word master had to leave the meeting, but he handed over the report in the WhatsApp group, which I'll narrate here. And till the time that he was doing the role, two speakers used word of the day, Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir twice and Toastmaster Kashif Cycle twice.
Okay. And after that, the grammarian. Yeah, Masgar. He's not there.
Yeah, so he'll return. Maybe you can move on to the other roles in the meantime.
Okay, the super grammarian.
It's me.
I have no idea. It's just
it's me.
Murusa.
As the super grammarian.
Who's the super grammarian?
Toastmaster Rusa is the super grammarian. Yeah.
Okay,
actually,
Tia Urusa,
yeah.
please,
Yeah.
can you proceed with your report?
Yeah. Okay, my report is not very extensive, but I would like people to unmute their mics. Okay, I'll be just be saying the sentences and you need to guess. He showed a bottle of Dettol surface cleaner.
TM Mariam.
Height of this one.
Good, good.
TM Mariam.
Okay. Show the term sheet.
I think
Yes. And the last one is source question mark.
Sorry.
TM Mariam.
Okay, that's about it. Now you can mute your mics.
Okay, now for the counter.
Yeah, I am here being the accountant for today. Indeed, this job is quite tedious for me in being virtual, although I try to do my role. So starting from the TM Hassan Ali Pivo, he uttered a use of 8 times during his whole being the Toastmaster of the evening and evaluator. TM Talab bin Hamid used 15 times. At the Sham, I think is the TM. The TM at the Sham used 4 times. TM Hina used 1 times. TM Vania Basi used 10 times. And so 2 times. And TM Fahad Versi used 17 times. That's all from my side. Over to the general evaluator of the evening, TM Hida, please.
Okay, and now TM Asghar is back. So I would ask TM Asghar to share his report.
Thank you, TM Eba, and I'm sorry to be away from the screen. Here is the irony. I'm someone who is still struggling with the basic, grammar rules, and I was given a rule as a grammarian. But some time ago, and the day before yesterday, I was reading somewhere in a Toastmasters magazine that if you want to improve your grammar, be a grammarian, because you will be able to observe the thing in a very close way and learn eventually something. But unfortunately, I was not able to pick as many points as I should be. But here are a couple of things. I think someone said many more other documents. I think it could have been additional documents, or someone said but however. I mean, used but and then however. I think but would be unnecessary over here. However is enough in the given context. Beside that, some exceptional words I have heard, some terminology. For example, I heard more than 3 times words introvert person, introvert boy. Abdullah called himself introvert boy, and that's very good. And then showed as real color, reality check, desi remedies that possibly killed coronavirus, said by Mariam. Queen of savagery, again, Mariam. Hibernating, yeah, hibernation, Zishan used it. Try to manage a situation that the best you can. Fatal mistakes, psychological scars, or some of other things I really like. And I would like to use them if I get the possibility. Over to you, TM Heba.
Okay, and now I would ask the timer, the last role facilitator, to give his report.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Heba.
Yes.
As a timer, I can also report on other aspects of the meeting and not just the speech timing. So first of all, the meeting started largely on time, only 5 to 6 minutes late, which is very commendable. That said, and abusing my position as immediate past president, I remind all the members to please make it to the meetings on time, and please get rows on time, so that will save us a lot of time during the meetings. With that, I'll move on to the individual speeches. The first speaker took 6 minutes 25 seconds, which was Toastmaster Abdullah Paracha. Sorry, 5 minutes 38 seconds. Yeah. The second speaker took 6 minutes 25 seconds, Toastmaster Mariam. And the last speaker took 7 minutes 29 seconds. In fact, he took a little bit time over that, but since the timing sheets were not visible, so we could count that as well within time, because after 5 or 6 seconds. In the table topics, the speaker spoke in the following with the following timing. Toastmaster Kashif spoke for 2 minutes 10 seconds. Toastmaster Kenny spoke for for 1 minute 27 seconds. Toastmaster Zishan 2 minutes 11 seconds. Toastmaster Ihtisham 1 minute 24 seconds. Toastmaster Hina 1 minute 31 seconds. Toastmaster Vania 1 minute 40 seconds. And Toastmaster Fahad 1 minute 58 seconds. In the evaluations portion, Toastmaster I spoke for 3 minutes and 29 seconds, and Toastmaster Hassan Thebo evaluated for 2 minutes, and Toastmaster Hina Osaf Ali spoke for 3 minutes and 27 seconds. So Toastmaster Hassan, come to the meetings more often, and you will also be regain your skills to finish just 2 seconds before time. That was my report. Thank you so much.
Okay. And now I would give my overall evaluation. The meeting started on time. Am I visible and audible enough? Firstly, I would like to ask the Toastmaster of the evening.
Yes, you are very much so.
Okay. The meeting started on time, but unfortunately, I was the one who was late. So I'm sorry about that. And the meeting opened with the same schedule, with the introduction and the prepared speeches and the table topic session, which we are accustomed to. And we've had, during this session, we had a good number of audience, maximum extending to 27 to 28. And the overall, in my opinion, the overall session was conducted in a friendly, comfortable environment with the Toastmasters covering up for each other's problems. And what I like about this organized session is that it's a good thing that we are still continuing with this Toastmasters session through Zoom, because we have something positive to look forward to in such a time of great depression, especially this coronavirus thing. And with that, I would hand back my charge to the Toastmaster of the evening, PM Hassan. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Heba. Toastmaster Heba, I just thought of one thing. There's
Yes.
something that we missed out. In case you have that joke with you, you could share with us.
Yes, you must.
We need light moments as well. Although we did have some very good ones, but again.
Okay, I came as usual. Stumbled upon a few jokes and searched them through Google, which I usually do. The first one is, why are frogs so happy? They eat whatever bugs them. The second one, why do we tell actors to break a leg? Because every play has a cast. The third one company owner asked another, tell me, Bill, how come your employees are always on time? Bill replies, easy. 30 employees and 20 parking spaces. The last one is, these are especially for the married people, married men. Before the wedding, I have loved all the women on earth. After the wedding, one woman less. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Eva. Okay. Before I could hand the charge back to our presiding officer, I'd like you to vote for the Big Four awards. And the Big Four awards are the Toastmaster of the evening, none other than myself, the Table Topics Master, our DTM Toastmaster Talha, the Table Topics Evaluator, Toastmaster Urusa, our VP Education, and lastly but not the least, Toastmaster Heba for the General Evaluator. So please cast your votes, and with that, I'd like to hand the charge back to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Urusa. Over to you, Toastmaster Urusa.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hassan. It was a wonderful session. I believe everyone enjoyed. And while the votes are being cast and votes are being calculated, I think Toastmaster Saad, they are still being calculated. I think they're still being calculated. So let me ask the guests what they felt. Toastmaster Kashif, can we start with you?
Yeah,
Yes,
the
you
votes
can.
are, the link
What are your...
The link is sent.
Okay. Toastmaster Kashif, what are your comments?
This is, thank you so much. First of all, let me introduce myself. I'm the president of the CA Toastmasters Club here in Peshawar, and it's an absolute honor to attend your meeting. I have attended a number of meetings through Zoom in the past month, and I've seen a lot of marketing material from KTC, and I really wanted to attend one of yours meeting, and definitely a very high quality and very high energy meeting. I really enjoyed it, and inshallah, if life permits, I will try to attend another one of your meeting. And Talha bin Hamid was naughty as usual, as he is, being himself. And yeah, next time if I get a chance to be a table topic master, I'm going to get back at him. Thank you so much. Over to you.
You are more than welcome to attend.
You are most welcome to attend many meetings, all meetings in the future, and you'll get a table topics master slot. So no worries.
Thank you so much. I had fun. I had a lot of fun. Thank you.
Toastmaster Ehtisham, can I have your comments?
Hi, good evening again, everyone. It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me here. I really enjoyed the meeting. Every speech was inspirational, and it was funny at the end. I would like to thank you, everyone, and continue meeting you guys until this virtual meetings are going on. And thank you very much again.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ehtisham. Toastmaster Kenny, your comments, please.
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster Urusa. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yeah.
Great. I think the meeting was brilliant, and from the get-go, extremely welcoming, and I loved the entire meeting format, and I would definitely recommend this club to my friends. And also your speakers are very, very, very good. So it's great to see the competition is fierce worldwide. And it's also good to see that there are amazing people to be found all over the world. So thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kenny, for those kind words. Toastmaster Ramin, could we have your comments?
Yes. Assalamu alaikum to all.
Walaikum
And yeah, I really enjoyed the meeting. Yes, I really enjoyed the meeting, and this is my first ever meeting at KTC Club, and wishing and hoping to join you all, inshallah, in near future too. Thank you.
Are you a Toastmaster?
Yes, I am a Toastmaster.
Okay. I think that is about it.
Toastmaster
I'm
Rusa, can I get a few seconds to speak here?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. So everyone, having heard your comments and about how great the online meetings are, let me inform everyone, with the permission of our VP Education, we are constantly monitoring how this whole lockdown situation is changing the world, literally. And I believe that there's a very, very strong possibility that even after the lockdown ends, and inshallah, we are able to meet each other face to face and in a physical location. We will continue, we will resume as soon as we can. But this is my message to everyone, whether they are our members or non-members or who'd like to attend. We plan to continue to have a remote presence even after this, because now we've learned about telepresence, we have learned about online meetings quite a bit. We will put that learning to good use. And any one of you who wishes to participate or even be a member and become a deliver projects and do all the Toastmaster stuff, no matter from where around the world, we will find a way to enable that for you. So that's my message to everyone.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tala. Toastmaster Saad, are we done with the votes?
Yes, we are.
Could you announce?
So first of all, the prepared speaker goes to the icebreaker, Toastmaster Abdullah Paracha.
Congratulations, Toastmaster Abdullah.
The best table topic speaker, it actually felt more of an of a DAO meeting, because the best table topic speaker goes to Toastmaster Vania.
Congratulations, Toastmaster Vania.
Okay, that's more than enough, guys. More than enough. I told
They
everyone
lived
how
up to your
talented these guys
comments.
are.
Yes, indeed. They lived up to what you said and more.
Too well, in fact.
Too well.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
The best prepared speech evaluator goes to their mentor, DTM Tala.
Congratulations, DTM Tala.
Thank you so much.
And now for the big four, a very tight race, but at the end that went to Toastmaster Hassan Tebo.
Congratulations, Toastmaster Hassan.
Thank you very much.
Toastmaster Hassan, I think that answers your question very well that you just floated on the group.
Yep. That's it.
No, but you know, you always know your shortcomings. So again,
and that will make sure that you'll be attending the next meeting as well.
Exactly.
Inshallah.
Okay, and
thank you very
are
much,
there any
everybody.
more any more announcements? Dityam Tala?
Yes, just our standard announcement. That is something that we hate to do, but we have to do. And that is about, you must have guessed it, renewals, renewals, and renewals. Anyone who has not renewed, please, we need your renewals. And you know what? It's not just the need for Karachi Toastmasters Club. Let me break the news that we are well on our way to becoming one of the top districts in the world. But in terms of growth, in terms of club quality, in terms of certifications, but that will only be accomplished when we have met a certain target of renewals. And KTC being the largest club, let me give you an idea of the magnitude. 1 out of every 8 Toastmasters in Pakistan belongs to KTC. So KTC has the highest responsibility towards this. Right now, it's nothing to celebrate. It's something to be very, very careful about. So the more you guys renew, the closer the district gets to their target. And inshallah, I have no doubt that inshallah we will get there. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dityam Tala. And thank you so much, Saad, for doing such a difficult task of counting the votes, which is really difficult, I must say. So with all of that, I would say the meeting has come to an end, and let's adjourn it for the next one. There is a division contest happening on the 18th, and I would like to invite everyone to that contest. We will be floating the link soon. As we get the link, we'll be floating it around. And everyone's invited, so the meeting stands adjourned.
Just a second, everyone, please turn on your video so we can have a group photo, please. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye-bye. See you.
Bye, everyone.
Take care, everyone. Allah Hafiz.
Okay, Allah Hafiz.